Really.
What is the focus of your work?
The focus of my work these days is to really work with leaders that are struggling during these times of uncertainty, these times of chaos, these times of great change, and helping them really get clear upon themselves as a leader and get clear upon the influence and impact that they can make in their organizations. And I find that often this results in us digging deeply into their own sense of values, their own sense of who they are, and their own sense of how they're seen by others and want to be seen by others. So we do a lot of work starting to unpack where they're showing up, kind of what is current reality for them. And then as we begin to discover that together as thinking partners, we begin to start to understand areas in which they have strength, where they can really bring some talents to the table that make a difference with people, and where they also maybe have some blind spots that they need to be aware of and pay attention to as they start to communicate and work with others in their organization to try to, enroll them as part of the change, or even help them begin to see that they can be part of creating a vision and a dream for change within the organization.
You use the word partner. Talk about the partnership you mean.
The partnership I mean here is that we are not a coach telling you, what you should do, but I serve more as a person that can ask you some questions that get you to think about things that you would not normally think about, that are important in the way that you lead and engage other people in your organization. So together we start to discover and start to understand more of the stance that you want to take as a leader, to be the kind of leader and create the kind of transformation or change that you feel is necessary and needed in the organization to take it to its next step or its next evolution in terms of success.
Sometimes leaders discover that there are different visions inside an organization. Do you work on solving the problem of getting people together behind an idea or vision?
Yeah, and I think, to transform the idea of solving the problem to looking at it as creating the opportunity for people to come together and have consensus and agreement about the vision for the organization and where we should go together. So it is really an opportunity to help them listen at a deeper level and to help them start to make sense of what they're hearing from the different voices and perspectives within an organization. A leader, if anything, starts to connect up the dots for people so that they can see a larger picture, a different reality than they're able to see from just their own particular area.
What brings you to this work? What is it that in your life pulls you towards working with leaders, working with senior executives?
It comes from, first, my deep commitment to the 22 years that I spent working in the U.S. federal government and helping leaders lead, helping them understand how to engage their organizations in a powerful way that goes beyond them just being positional leaders, that because I own the throne, somehow you should, bow down to me and believe in what I believe in. And as I worked with organizations and leaders, I began to really understand more of the dynamics within government, also within any organization, around what does it take to really create profound transformational change. And my commitment to really help improve and enhance the level of leadership in organizations so that the organizations can serve a larger purpose of which they were originally intended to serve, their mission, if you will. I help them start to be able to get access to that and to create that. And it's part of my own commitment as a, and was and still is part of my commitment as a public servant, if you will, to help make our government, to help make our business community that interacts with government all serve the same purpose, the same outcome of creating a better world in which we live.
It sounds also like you are a safe space for someone who's in a position of power, because often there's no one to talk to within the organization. Is that a correct reading?
That's correct. What I find many of my clients tell me is that I finally have a place to try out some ideas, put stuff out there without fear that somebody's going to misinterpret it and take it some other direction, and then I have to do damage control on being able to just do some what-if thinking. Most leaders are being microscopically examined all the time as to what they say, how they act, their moods, all of that. So I provide them a safe space where they can just hang out, try stuff out, and I can ask them, some questions that get them to think a little bit deeper and a little bit further in terms of what does that mean? What does that mean for you, and what does it mean for your organization? And through that, they get clarity upon their vision, they get clarity upon their role, and they get clarity upon what they are going to be asking others in the organization to come forward and step into.
Is there anything you'd like to add?
I think my passion right now is really around creating what I call sustainable leadership. Because I've been in far too many organizations where I've helped a leader create some organizational change that's become very meaningful, and then they left, and then the organization couldn't sustain it, and it fell apart, and it kind of reverted back into its old evil ways of acting and being. So I'm interested in growing leaders that can be impactful in their organization, and through their work start to create a culture and future leaders that will make sure that what has been created by them has legacy and sustainability. That's what my passion and interest is in right now, and that the leaders that I work with see themselves in a larger arena, see themselves not just in terms of delivering their business results, but see them in contributing to the health and well-being of the larger community in which they're a part of, and the larger world in which we all are more and more interdependent and interconnected.